for each of our guests, both of whom have experience competing in the world's most famous arena, Bully Ray and PCO. Once I state your name and publication, I kindly ask you to keep it to one question per guest in order to keep things running smoothly and to give everyone a chance to participate. With that said, I'd like to introduce our first guest at G1 Supercard, who will face Lifeblood's Juice Robinson in a New York City street fight. Please welcome Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Bully Ray.
Do you know who I am, guys? That was funny. You can all laugh now. All right. It's okay. Let's have a fun phone call, everybody.
That sounds awesome. Thank you. Let's start with our first question, then, which I'm asking for Chris Featherstone from Pancakes and Power Slams, and of course, I have to do the requisite, like everyone. So, how are you today, Bully?
I'm great, thank you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, when you previously left WWE, your career as a singles wrestler became stronger than ever. Currently, we still see the Bully Ray character give the fans what an old-school heel should look like. Having this heel persona has significantly helped babyface career of Flip Gordon. How important is it still for the face-heel dynamic in the midst of a gray area fan base?
I think it's very important to have the heel-face dynamic in wrestling. It's one of the main foundations of the pro wrestling industry. It has worked from day one, and I think it can continue to work moving forward. I don't like my pro wrestling to be gray. I like my characters, my athletes, my performers, my wrestlers to have a clear-cut, definitive emotion and an emotional investment. I want to either love somebody or I want to hate somebody. And I don't believe that there is anybody in the wrestling business in the entire world who is better than being hated than me.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. And I got one more for another journalist who unfortunately couldn't make it, from Under the Mat Radio, and he asks, what makes the New York City fan base so unique compared to others?
New York City is the capital of the world, in my opinion. Obviously, Madison Square Garden is the arena of arenas. That's why they call it the Mecca. And the New York City fan base, when it comes to professional wrestling, has always been extremely loyal and passionate. When you talk about some of the greatest wrestling fans in the world, New York fans are right up there with Philadelphia fans and Chicago fans. You know that when you perform in front of a New York crowd, you better bring your A game because they're not afraid to show you how they feel.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now we're going to go live to our press friends that we have on the line. So, Sean Rostapp from Fightful.com. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. You've competed at Madison Square Garden dozens of times. Am I right in that this is going to be your first singles match at Madison Square Garden?
To my knowledge, I do not believe I have ever competed in a singles match in Madison Square Garden, and this will definitively be the first time Bully Ray ever competes in Madison Square Garden.
So what does that mean to you, considering you've competed in that venue so many times? And if you do it next year, I don't know if you realize, across 4 different decades, if you all go back next year, well, what does that mean to you to be a fixture in such a historic venue, but still have the first?
I'll take the second part first. The next year I don't even think about, because who knows what's going to happen, next year. Hopefully, Ring of Honor and Madison Square Garden in New Japan still continue to have a good relationship. Hopefully this event goes really, really well, and all parties want to do business again. As far as myself bringing Bully Ray to Madison Square Garden, it's a quote-unquote bucket list thing that I only added to the bucket list recently once I saw that there would be an event at Madison Square Garden with all of the great Ring of Honor talent, with all of the great New Japan talent. I wasn't guaranteed a spot on the card. So I did, what I have to do character-wise, storytelling-wise, wrestling-wise, performing-wise, to make sure that I've earned myself a spot. So I'm proud of the fact that I was able to do that, and it is a big deal to me because I created the Bully Ray character. Nobody created it for me. I'm the one that moved the Bully Ray character forward, and I'm talking about when I originally invented it in TNA. This was my creation, and when you have your own creation in the wrestling business, and when you can bring your own creation to a show like the G1 Supercard, when you can bring your own creation to an arena like Madison Square Garden, it is a very good feeling and sense of accomplishment.